What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some idle champions, coolest campaigns, and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games, or later on your favorite podcast service. B. Dave Walters and Erin M. Evans talk about all the idle champions lore that's fun to know about. If you hear this live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. But until then, Erin, B. Dave, take it away.
I am Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms, featuring 3 of your favorite Idle champions, Farida, Havilar, and Mahen. I'm a content designer for Idle Champions, and I also play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers. And soon, Farida on Court of the Raven Queen.
Ooh!
I just need to say, as an aside, my sweet baby Erin's all grown up because she was so adamant that she's like, I can't play Farida. And I'm like, you can. And she was like, I can't. She's just so cerebral and in her head. I'm like, yeah, but show it. No big deal. You're like, I just can't. And then fast forward like a year, and you're like, all right, let's do it. Yeah.
I will maintain you could not have dropped Farida into Fool's Errand or Unfair Seas, and it would not have been as good because she would not. I don't know why she would have gone. She doesn't go to parties. She stays home and reads a book.
You know, but there's always room for that Daria type character. You know what I mean? You could be the straight tiefling. Don't get me wrong. I love Havilar with my whole heart. If only to get the Havilar recaps. You know, that alone has been worth the price of admission. Hi, B. Dave Walters. I say words about things. I do that. That thing you just saw. I say make-believe words and not make-believe words. And I'm prepping to bring Erin's entire catalog of characters to life in front of Erin, which is no pressure.
This is the other thing. I can't do it unless you're DMing, apparently.
Well, good joke's on you. I can't do it unless you're playing.
I will got that Uno reverse card.
Yeah, I would say normally I cannot express the extent to which I don't care whether or not my portrayal of a given character reflects someone else's portrayal of a given character. I'm like, whatever. This is my interpretation of it.
That may or may not be why I voted for the Xanathar to show up yesterday.
I hope that wins.
Yes,
so deeply.
Yes,
so deeply.
Yes. The Xanathar is everywhere. Yes. Perhaps he will conquer this as well. The Raven Queen will bow before the Xanathar. But I'm not trying to M. Night Shyamalan the Brimstone Angels characters, because here's the thing, dear viewer. Erin has 0 poker face, so if I get it wrong, you will see it on her face in real time. So let me tell you. Here's my I'm gonna let you guys see behind the DM screen, and this is my plot armor against disappointing Erin. No matter what happens, it's the Shadowfell variant of the character that you're getting to experience. So if it's wrong, it's not me being wrong, it's the Raven Queen twisting Farida's and Havilar's memories.
I like it. Like that's a solid coverage there.
I
think you'll do good.
You know what that is? That's walking into the room being like, I've got a headache and it's been a long week and I'm very tired, but I love you. And then whatever happens after that, you're like, I gave you the context. So here we go. Yeah.
Fair.
Let's see. Apparently I'm too loud. Oh, that would be because I'm up to 100%. Let's take me down. There we go. That should be better. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the titular Raven Queen from Idle Champions presents Court of the Raven Queen. So yeah, where do y'all want to start with the Raven Queen? What's going on with her? What's her deal?
You know what I think is really interesting about the Raven Queen? This is something from 4th edition that B. Dave likes. Because she does not show up before 4th edition. She is all 4th edition.
B. Dave drops from the call.
I'm gonna deliver the worst Mahen ever now. I'm gonna turn Mahen into Ned Flanders. That's what's gonna happen.
Oakley Doakley there, Farida.
Exactly. Hidely ho, heavily.
Oh my god.
He gets into Shadowfell outfit. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
This is supposed to be a happy occasion. I'm just saying, I'm gonna make. I'm
I think it's telling you turned on me and not the Raven Queen there. You didn't say I never liked her anyway. You said, Evans, you're dead to me.
I'm gonna make Lorcan sound like Tucker Carlson.
Oh no!
I don't think anybody needs to sound like Tucker Carlson. That should just be off the table.
Okay, so
you say that crosses that's a red card.
That's
my red card. That is my red card.
Actually, for invitation to party, I think that is the black card. So yeah, Raven Queen apparently became a thing in 4th edition, but has very much carried on over into 5th edition. Like Erin, you and I were talking earlier that like pretty much from the beginning of 5th edition, Raven Queen is mentioned.
Yeah.
So that kind of raises the question: do we need to talk about any of the 4th edition stuff, or let me get there, or is there really any carryover from that?
I don't think. I actually think it doesn't. She doesn't change as much from 4th to 5th because the Shadowfell. There's always been a plane of shadow, also called Shadow. The Shadowfell, though, specifically as a sort of way station for the dead, as a reflection of the material world, that came in more in 4th edition. But it was cool, and so now it is in 5th edition. It gets to survive the culling process, and so does the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets a little. We've talked about before in Forgotten Realms, where it gets a little bit weird because you have the Shadowfell that the Raven Queen rules, and you have the Plane of Shadow, which is the domain of Shar. And these are not identical, and maybe they overlap, and maybe they're the same person, or maybe they're roommates or enemies. But there's lots of options there because they're both very strong personalities.
Yeah.
Raven Queen is cool and spooky. As established previously.
She hands out her business card. Raven Queen, cool and spooky.
I mean, what's interesting is, I know this is going to come as a complete and total shock when I say it, that the lore is sometimes inconsistent.
What?
On the one hand, they're like, she doesn't manifest, she doesn't personify, she only appears symbolically. Also, here's lots of art of exactly what she looks like.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think this the artwork on the Forgotten Realms wiki is actually the first time I've seen artwork of the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she
I've
looks
seen
like.
some good portraits, but I like that one.
Yeah. There's a few that float around too that have her masked, which is why when she showed up in Idle Champions Presents 2, I had her show up with the mask on, the alabaster mask, so you couldn't see what she looked like. I will just say, as an aside, I think the most interesting thing to me is, so the Raven Queen presides over the Shadowfell, as Aaron was just talking about. But Ravenloft, which has existed for years and years and years and years, they moved into a corner of the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
So like Ravenloft, which is objectively terrible, is like the Lower East Side of the Shadowfell. You know?
No,
it's the
She's
Staten Island
the
of
slum
Shadow.
lord.
She's the slum lord of Ravenloft. Yeah.
You know what I just realized is that to make this even worse, from a past life of mine and work, essentially the Raven Queen bought Ravenloft's mortgage.
Yeah. She gentrified Ravenloft. Yes.
There we go.
She did.
Oh no.
Yeah. Exactly. So much so, the god Ezra in Ravenloft, many people believe is just the Raven Queen. That every once in a while, that basically, again, as we discussed, Ravenloft is a system of dirty bubbles. That on
I love that
occasion,
metaphor. I love that metaphor so much.
Every once in a while, the Raven Queen kind of just pokes her head in enough to be like, "The heck's happening in here?" Yeah. Cure wounds, sure, but what? Okay.
That's why. Do you have your rent?
Yeah. That's why Ezra,
take
Lady
it in
of
your
the
pain
Mist,
and suffering.
exactly, is so amorphous, which is interesting because the game has stopped short of defining. Because recall, Ravenloft is run by the dark powers. You know, something incredibly powerful takes these horrifically evil people from all over the multiverse and traps them in this system of dirty bubbles. That's in the Shadowfell, so theoretically the Raven Queen is over it, yet apparently has no hand in it whatsoever. That even she's like, what are they doing over the yeah, okay. Yeah. Never mind. Gonna go back over.
Property manager.
You know, she's like
you got my cut, then I don't care.
You know, she's like the CEO of the corporation. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember in the 90s when like evil corporations were the enemy and everything? You know what I mean?
Cyberpunk stuff. Yeah.
Like she's the CEO of Pentex, for those of you that cross over. And every once in a while, you're like, they're doing some stuff with some glowing green sludge over there. I don't know. It's the books are balanced though. Fine.
So essentially, though, because those things all got merged, the dark powers, even though like Raven Queen kind of owns the Shadowfell, she doesn't really have any influence on the dark powers.
I mean, does she?
You know
what I mean? Like,
There's a lot of the Raven Queen is like mysterious. Like we're not gonna nail it down. We're gonna leave it open so that she maybe is. Maybe she is the dark powers. Maybe these are just puppets she holds up sometimes. Like it's possible. Or maybe she's like, or maybe like B. Dave said, maybe she's that kind of a hands-off CEO. Some laissez-faire mortal torture happening.
Oh, I like Banana Mobster's idea. Ravenloft has been separated from the rest of the Shadowfell by a cosmic toddler fence.
It's true. I mean, it's not what happened to it. Well, I think also, you know, one of the things about horror, and we've talked about this before, is less is more with horror. You know, that a bump in the next room, a scratching sound at the wall, like your mind will fill in the scariest thing. So having it be the dark powers are doing this because reasons, and you're like, what are the dark powers? What's their reason? Oh, you know, that's why they stop short of being like, ooh, it's these 6 things that answer to the Raven Queen, because now you've stacked it in a hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like once you've quantified it, by definition, it's less scary. That's why so many things don't have stat blocks.
Yeah.
Because the moment No, I was just gonna say, the moment you're like, oh, it's got 600 hit points and an AC of 17, it's a thing that can now be defeated.
Yeah.
It's a math problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm 3 crits and a smite away, and no, we're good. Like freely will fight them. It's fine. I'll go through there and just start popping some bubbles. It's fine. Well, get them all out of there. You know, so
a real estate conglomerate is scary in a different way. It's not a spooky.
Well, if you think about it, all jokes aside, it does lean into that corporation is enemy thing, because how do you fight a corporation? How do you fight a concept?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you fight dark powers? You know, like where do you go? And then you know that they're strong enough, they can constrain someone like Strahd, like Aslan Rex, like the Elder Brain, the God Brain of Bloodspur. You know what I mean? So it must be like bad.
Yeah.
But theoretically, the Raven Queen is over that. So that gives you some point of reference of the Raven Queen's weight class and all of this. Because, you know, I, like everybody, again, even though I was just saying, they try to avoid making it hierarchical. They try and avoid making it tiered. But we do, though. You know what I mean? Because you're like, the Raven Queen and the Lady of Payne, they're kind of at the same level. But then you're like, yeah, but could the Lady of Payne beat Tiamat in a fight? And it's like, well, she'd look at one of the heads in the eye and kill it, but the other forehead to go like eat her after that, you know? And so, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I had this
when it comes down to me now with the who would win in a fight. Like, I just default to that Stan Lee video of like, whoever the hell the writer wants to win. Like that is just, I'm so tired of those arguments in any way.
The trying to figure out, like, attacking it, thinking of it like a corporation, I have the thought of like you're trying to divine where they are, and it's like a horrible phone tree that just keeps looping you back around. Like you get sent to this dark powers office, but they're not there. That's not their office. They're over here. It's like you can't pin it down. Sorry. So the Raven Queen She is obsessed with collecting memories and mementos and fragments of essences.
She's literally a crow person.
That's what she did to Shaka, isn't it?
That's what she did to Shaka. She took something from him. That's what she took. It's also why she took Havilar completely. That she was like, "You've seen things." Also, there's some other reasons TBD why she might have had use for a combat proficient jovial tiefling. I would like you all to know, honestly, truly, at the time, we had. Okay, let me give you like a little peek behind the curtain here. We had some idea of what the next Idle Champions Presents was going to be, because we went into development on it while we were actually right at the beginning of the third one. That's just the way the calendar lined up, that we didn't have a gap in between. So we knew we were heading towards the Shadowfell. Hand to God, when Averin put that bag of holding in the bag of holding, and I was like, we got to go to break. I don't know what's about to happen. I knew one of the things that was in the vote was different gods interfering. So I was all like, all the gods are going to show up right now. And then I was like, Raven Queen's here. Raven Queen's going to mess with Havilar. Okay, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, that was all. And then later on, when the Raven Queen was messing with Shaka, I literally got off the stream that night, and I was like, "Can we get Sharif for the next one? Because the Raven Queen's gonna keep messing with him." You know what I mean? Like, that all happened in real time.
Nice.
So
I love that stuff. I love that stuff.
And I thought just enough of why the Raven Queen was coming, what the Raven Queen wanted for Havilar, and why she was messing with Havilar in particular. I'd figured out. Erin still didn't know, but we coordinated the recording the thing of Farida, because I was like, Farida's gonna have to go to Ravenloft to save her sister. That's what's gonna happen in the next one. And we were able to kind of like button that on. And Erin still doesn't know, for the record. She just knows that that's what's about to happen.
She's gone. But I don't know.
I've been in a lot of meetings where I've heard a lot of things about this upcoming show, and I've got the whole time.
I'm hoping that we manage to save Havilar. If for no other reason, then I gotta tell you, I don't think a Farida recap is gonna be as entertaining.
Oh, it's gotta be a Havilar recap. Come on.
Yeah, I think Farida would downplay everything.
But there is something to be said for the e-girl recap of all of the stuff that happens.
I love it.
Hey, it'd be more like we went in the Shadowfell. We had to go in the Shadowfell. Some things happened. I don't think people would want me to talk about what happened to them, so we'll just skip over that part. And then we got to the Fortress of Memories. I'm assuming there's going to be like dealing with weird memories. The fact that you've brought up Lorcan now, it means that Farida's going to be like, we don't have to talk about what happened. Nobody saw it, right? Nobody saw it. And I'll be done in 10 minutes, because there will be a lot of things she'll be like, I don't want to talk about that.
I just feel like then Havilar has to Kool-Aid man through the wall at the end and be like, wait, you didn't tell them that. Right, yeah.
This is my hope. It's just like, it goes up, whatever happens. It's like, okay, so Farida was going to do this, and it was like 3 lines, and that's not cool, because it's boring. And even though I wasn't there for the cool parts, I think you all deserve to know. I hope she's not. I mean, I have no idea. I have genuinely no idea. I'm like, I've gleaned enough things to make some guesses, but not strong ones.
So we have talked about the Raven Queen a bit before when we talked about the Shatterkai, because she essentially created the Shatterkai.
Shadow elves.
No.
But is there a place? Is there a place in the Shadowfell that she and some of these Shatterkai hang out?
Well, she does have her main place where she hangs out. That is the Fortress of Memories. You want me? I'm about to say something good about 4th edition. You ready?
Clip it. Clip it.
Everybody clip it.
I'm gonna say a good 4th edition thing. You ready?
Hmm?
The art in 4th edition was all top flight.
Yes.
No
Yes.
lies detected. They did good stuff.
I'm not
100%.
a monster.
100%.
Look, again.
No one thought you were a monster.
I mean, no,
For
I
this
am a
anyway.
monster though. But
Not
I mean,
for
no,
this.
not for this in particular. Yeah, no, just for the record,
Mhm.
since let me say, because there's plenty of things that I'm unrepentantly haterish about. No, the thing about 4th edition is like it was not a bad game. It was never a bad game.
Mhm.
If they call that game D&D Tactics, they'd be making that game now.
Yeah.
It was just too far of a departure from the Dungeons and Dragons that we know and love. Because basically it tried to make a pen and paper MMO.
Yeah.
So it swung back to 5th edition, which 5th edition is so much D&D perfected. I truly don't know what a 6th edition can even be. I'm like, I feel like you sort of did it. You kind of did it.
Yeah.
But that was the thing about 4th edition. You know what I mean? That you were, it was our college vegan phase. Was 4th edition. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be raw vegan for a while, and it's like, I won't, but okay. And then you're like, oh, I got all of these like vitamin deficiencies. I got to start eating fish again. You're like, come on back, come on, you come over here. We're gonna roll with advantage now. That's fine. You come in, bring it in.
It's funny you say like, advantage was literally the first rule of 5th edition that I read, and I went, "Oh, this is awesome. I love this."
I was a late adapter to 5th edition because when it came out, a buddy of mine was like, "You should try 5th edition," and I was like, "They've heard me too many times." And he was like, "No, it's really cool. They got this new thing called advantage and disadvantage," and literally that was the selling point.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yep.
yes.
Very nice rule."
So the Fortress of Memories.
Mhm.
What is up with that place?
It's the spooky castle.
The spooky castle. It's the spookiest of spooky castles, honestly. Like it very much. Everybody that draws it is kind of like the Witch King's Fortress from the Lord of the Rings. I'm like, everybody has the exact same touchstone of gray stone and green spectral-ish stuff. That again, the cosmology gets wonky, but theoretically every soul passes through it. Like when you die, you got to make a trip through the Fortress of Memories on the way to where you're going to end up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Grand Central Station of souls. Again, the Raven Queen is not death, but she is vital to the death process.
Mm-hmm.
In everyone kind of just has to like pass through this place on their way there.
It's interesting to me because the cosmology that existed before the introduction of the Raven Queen, in Forgotten Realms, you die, you go to the fugue plane, which then this is there's points in the lore where you can see that lots of people cared about this a lot, either in a positive sense or a negative sense, and there's this sort of struggle. It's like, have you read the book This Is How You Lose the Time War?
Oh no, but I've heard of
basically there's sort of like two agents of two factions traveling through time trying to force the timeline in a particular way. So there's like so it's like that from an outside perspective, and there's no romance. Well, there's some romance because there's a lot of that in Forgotten Realms. But so the what happens after you die is one of these things where there's a lot of this. But generally you die, you go to the fugue plane, you encounter the god of the dead, Kelimvor, and he's like, you're good, you're not good. And other gods can interrupt and be like, this one's mine. And if you're standing around for too long, demons might carry you off, and devils might be like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do? You could come with me. There's lots of room for advancement. So adding the Shadowfell, there's now another step, because there's still the implication you go to the fugue plane, but first you have to go through the Raven Queen. And I find it interesting that there's now this like multi-step process. Your afterlife is very drawn out.
Yeah, afterlife sounds like a series of lines. Like you're just queuing up after death.
Yeah, imagine you're like death saves, waiting room. You're like,
that's what your death saves are like. In the first one, you're floating around the Shadowfell, and then the second one, you're standing in line in the fugue plane. No, that's probably too much, but yeah. it's I don't know, it's interesting, and it's a case where there's lots of ideas and fitting all the ideas together, and that's part of collaborating. But I do think that part is interesting. The Fortress of Memories is cooler looking than the Fugue Plane. I will give it that for sure. Raven swooping around.
If I remember correctly, and I may have just made this up and just completely changed how this plane works in my game, isn't the fortress surrounded by a massive labyrinth?
It is a massive labyrinth.
It is a massive Okay, then I just misunderstood it. Yeah, essentially in my game, I set it up where like there is this like, you know, gnarly Witch King looking fortress at the center of like essentially Labyrinth. And then when my players went in there, they got attacked by bird people because I thought it was fun. Not Kenku, just straight up bird people.
Straight up bird people.
Just straight up bird people.
Just pigeons with like yoke arms.
No, you know those birds from the Power Rangers movie? That was it. They just coming down on bad string work.
Yeah. No, the Fortress of Memories is a labyrinth.
Okay.
You get in there and it's MC Escher-esque. You know, where left isn't always left and right isn't always right. And you're just kind of like walking and you're like, whoop, hang on. Oh no. You know what I mean? You're like, that ballroom wasn't a ballroom the last 3 times we were here. Yeah.
That sounds like some nightmares I've had. Yay. Okay. Okay, this is really great because I scrolled down further on the wiki and it says relationships, and the first person it talks about is Orcus. Except according to this, one of the Raven Queen's greatest enemies was the demon lord Orcus.
Them being like a thing, we did that.
I know it is, but like I didn't know that they were the greatest of enemies.
No, that's the thing. He's trying too hard with this enemy thing. It's obviously covering something.
100%.
That's, you know,
he's gonna work out those emotions one day. Everyone in the chat keeps yelling boombox.
Wait, can I say?
No.
Okay, right.
No. We can talk about the fact that that Jason Charles Miller did make an awesome freaking song about Orcus and the Raven Queen.
That was wonderful.
One day it's gonna make it into a book. We're just gonna will this into literal canon.
I mean, it's not that now, you know, and I mean, so the actual the beef with them is Orcus has attempted to take over the Shadowfell and replace the Raven Queen more than once. In Orcus has had more or less success in all of his machinations, going up against Tiamat, going up against the Raven Queen. Personally, I think he just doesn't like strong women. That's cool, like whatever. And so there's a kind of a perpetual battle in the Shadowfell of Orcus's forces attempting to just hostilely invade, in the Raven Queen's forces kind of holding them at bay, or not holding them at bay as the story is necessitate.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have a sense of why he wants the Shadowfell in particular?
I mean, again, she's pivotal to death. You know,
it sounds cool. Yeah. I mean, I the thing I find curious is mostly just there's, I think, been a long tradition of splitting death and undeath into 2 separate things. So it's interesting to me that this one, like, nah, he wants the death place. But not the one where all the gods have the portals to pop in. Not that one. That sounds like a headache.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, he would have control over all the souls of the multiverse eventually. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like this
feels like a very short-term plan. People are going to notice and have something to say about it. But that just points back to the theory that he's self-sabotaging to get her attention.
He wants to put up a dam on the river Styx, or impress a girl.
It's one of those.
One of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is, I mean, there is a long tradition of like the antagonist who has a plan that's very big that you're like, there's 60 people that are going to notice this and want to do something about it.
Yeah.
Like if you defeat the Raven Queen and wall off the Shadowfell, like every other god in existence is going to be like, hold up, where are my worshippers? I need those.
Yeah. No, it very, very,
Demons aren't known for the long game, so I think it's fine. I just sort of want to be like, Orcus, boy, come on.
If you think about it, that's where this whole Orcus with the boombox thing came from, because it's the only thing that actually makes sense.
Yep.
Because this is a Mojo Jojo-esque plan.
I want to see Orcus dressed as Mojo Jojo. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll also accept Mojo Jojo dressed as Orcus.
B-Dave had a Mojo Jojo hat just in arm's reach.
Yeah. Again, do not test me. I'm Mojo Jojo. Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, so I will say, reading a little bit further on this wiki page, I feel like there's an opportunity for the actual conflict of this rom-com that we have been talking about, because there could be a love triangle, because it says another devout enemy of the Raven Queen was the lesser deity Vecna, who envied her for her unique abilities to tap into the flow of souls and to harvest knowledge. One of his goals was to overthrow the queen and rule the entire Shadowfell from her fortress of memories. Vecna's servants constantly battle the Raven Queen's Shatterkai followers.
I get an internet troll vibe from Vecna. I get a stronger sense that Vecna is threatened by the Raven Queen and feels like she took something from him by having power.
Yes.
So, well,
I think what Orcus should do is womp Vecna, and that would impress her more.
I mean, I maintain the heck's going on in Greyhawk that just keeps turning out archliches. Vecna, Acerarek, Tasha, Azalin, all from Greyhawk, by the way, that they not only became catastrophically evil there, then felt the need to depart. Like Greyhawk is the Ohio of Dungeons and Dragons. How it's produced the most astronauts. They're like, I can't just leave here. I must leave this plane of existence. Yeah, I've got to go. Yeah. Well, an important point of clarification with the Raven Queen also, that it's like I keep making, especially ahead of this story, is the Raven Queen is not evil. She's lawful neutral. You know, like what she does is unpleasant, but what she does is necessary. You know, like she's like, I run the wastewater purification plant of the plains. And if you come here, it's like gross looking and stinky. But
God, now you made me want to make like the dirty jobs of D&D.
She's like culling the worst of them and shutting them off to the dirty bubbles.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like,
that's what that's for. Oh, I like that. That makes me feel better about all the mini steps.
It does make a lot of sense, by the way, that you're just kind of coming through. Again, it's like a change sorting machine. You're like, I just couple them, just get just dirty bubble.
Like, that's a rock. That's a rock.
Yeah. Yep. Which also, but that's a shiny rock. Ooh, it's a shiny rock.
Because she got that bird raven thing. Gotta find the shiny rocks.
What I will say, something that's interesting to me, and I brought this up in the past, is there is a connection between the Raven Queen and the Lady of Payne. That the Lady of Payne from Sigil knows what the Raven Queen is after. She actually knows the Raven Queen's plan. And the Raven Queen knows something about the Lady of Payne. Like the two of them have this like insight and connection that is never completely articulated. You know, they were roommates.
That's what I'm saying. They're like friends from college.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's the Lady of Payne's name is Pam. You know, yeah, they're Pam and Chris, the Raven Queen and the Lady of Payne. Yeah.
Now we're pitching like a Laverne and Shirley reboot.
Sure.
I would watch hell out of that.
A Laverne and Shirley reboot that's on Showtime though. And instead of living in a milk bottling plant, it's a soul bottling plant. That is just souls just going by on conveyor belts. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah.
I gotta show this part of the show to Luke McKay later.
That being said, though, this is not the lore. Comic. This is not the lore. This was just my interpretation of it. But when I did this in a game, what I had the Raven Queen had was the memory of the Lady of Payne's face. That even the Lady of Payne doesn't remember what she looks like under the mask, but the Raven Queen does. That was yeah.
That's very cool.
Yep.
That should be canon. Well, I don't know. I guess keeping it mysterious is nice. But nobody's gonna come up with something better, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
First
a good
of all,
one.
Thank you. That's
really good.
It is really good.
I mean, hey, look, we've long conned everybody to believing there's romantic tension between Orcus and the Raven Queen. That's just the next thing. That's yeah.
Oh,
smuggle that one through there.
I love it. Well, we actually do have quite a few questions. But before we get to that, is there any other things that you want to hit on for Raven Queen, Shadowfell, Fortress of Memories, love triangles, and whatnot?
Tune in for ICP3. You're gonna see everything I have to say about the Shadowfell over like the next 5 weeks.
It's gonna be good.
I will say the Shadowfell is basically a Tool video. There's some messed up stuff down in there. There's some exactly. Just think of the 9 Inch Nails video for Sober. That's the Shadowfell. Like weird little clockwork stop motion meat puppets. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess I said ICP3 at some point. Somebody in the chat was like, Insane Cloud Posse 3. That is what it is called, ICP for shorthand. And it used to be that I laughed at it every time, and now I've heard it so many times I don't even think of Insane Cloud Posse anymore. That's what it's done to me.
Yeah. This is the third one, which is kind of the fourth one. Yeah, that's it. So every time, and everybody that makes that joke, here's the thing. It's like people asking me how tall I am. I'm like, I realize this is new to you. Okay. All right.
Yeah. What's funny is I get that question about you.
Do people ask you how tall is B-Dave?
I do. I was out to dinner with my friends and like, how tall is B-Dave? And I just went, you see that door?
That's it. I'm the door, by the way. If you ever need a point of reference, my head goes right to the top of the frame. My shoulders go right to the side.
It's true.
I'm the door.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. That door.
All right, let's see what chat has been up to. This is from Loki Grommel. Question: when will the boombox be a topic? I don't know, man. You know, if we can make it canon and get a stat block for it, we'll see what happens. You know, do an episode about that.
Keep an eye out.
Let's see. Star Chaser 43 question: if all of the questions are asked by Treavor to Erin and B-Dave, how do we submit questions for Treavor? Just curious. You can submit them by going to imgonnaemail@gmail.com and just sending in random stuff there. Thanks for the setup. Oh, actually, I just realized the next thing was submit to Trevor's new podcast. I think Martin put that in there. Let's see. Loki Growl says, question, will the boombox make an appearance in the new ICP? And you know what? I'm not even gonna field that one. We're letting that one hang. We'll see. Who knows?
You'll just have to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah. Come on.
But
come on. Foolish Genius 89 question: is the Raven Queen the best gift 4E ever gave us in terms of lore besides Erin, of course?
Okay, thank you. I was like, I'm a little hurt right now, but
that is also true. 4th edition gave me you. So you know what, Erin? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything else bad about 4th edition because you wouldn't be here without it. You and the Raven Queen. Gave you and the Raven Queen. You're not the Raven Queen. First of all, we've not seen you outside of this room. You could go outside and it's just Castle Grayskull right out there.
Yeah. For all you know, my husband. Live. For all you know, my husband is a boar-faced demon lord. So.
It would explain.
You've only conversed on email.
Yeah. Right. So there you go. Yeah, anybody could have been doing that. It could have been Orcus that was messaging me all this entire time. I'm just saying, Trevor. Think about it. A lot of the stories she has told us would make a lot more sense if it was in the Shadowfell.
I mean,
so
you're not wrong.
So there it is. I've made my peace with 4th edition. You've seen it here, folks.
I hope Lauren is watching because this is gonna make her day.
That's it.
I feel like we touched on this a little bit, but just for better clarity, Evil Emperor Zerg says, question: what is the difference between the Shadowfell and the Fugue plane?
They're two different places. The
You're
Shadowfell,
like only everything, right? Yeah.
yeah, Shadowfell is a plane of spooky darkness. It's a Tool video, as me put it. And you know, it's got shadow elves, it's got shadow demons and things kind of infiltrate into that. Yeah, any kind of spooky monsters.
Like,
the Fugue plane is like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was actually just saying, like, so what does like the Fugue plane look like? Because I don't know.
Fugue plane is usually it's depicted as it's a plane of just kind of mist.
Okay.
It isn't nowhere, but it's sort of nowhere. There's also a castle there. That's where Celeborn sits and does his judgments. But again, this is one of those, I mean, you can kind of chalk it up to how many people know what the afterlife actually looks like.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why we have these weird stories. Because the other thing is that when you're on the Fugue plane, this is when gods can just show up and be like, no, you're coming with me. Because otherwise there's like a kind of a procedure to go like, how good were you? How dedicated were you to these different kind of ideals? Who should take responsibility for you?
Mhm.
So it's usually kind of depicted as kind of a plane of gray mist. There is a castle. There has at various times been something called the Wall of the Faithless, where if you just were like, screw all of you gods, you got to be hanging on a wall, which they kind of were like, no, not that anymore, because it was a little weird. But yeah, and so it's largely featureless, not like Oblivion, which is also a thing at times where there's like nothing.
Yeah.
But where it's sort of it is a little bit of a crossroads, right? It's a place with a way station. It's a place where your train comes to pick you up.
Okay.
Or you jump in the unlicensed taxi cab that takes you to the Nine Hells.
I mean, I realize this is they stop short of declaring this because again, it's whatever the narrative requires, but the implication is everybody goes through the Shadowfell. So my personal sense is it is the first stop that you go through, and it is the sorting hat of eternity, which is, but I mean, I can very much see a world where on the other side, everybody goes to the Fugue plane for judgment, but it seems like you're already getting redistributed.
This is why I find the lore stacking them a little like it feels like we'll just put both things in there. It may be for your game better to choose one and roll with it, but because there is a little bit of like, if the Raven Queen is skimming off the evilest ones, what's left for, you know, if you're evil but you were dedicated to an evil god who wants you now, or if you were evil in a way that's going to lead to you ending up in the abyss or the Nine Hells, which I still think is largely like people who were bad, who know they're going to end up with a bad option, who get snatched before the weighing part. But at any rate, like, this is a little bit like, okay, we have a little bit we didn't need to build 2 subway stations at the same location. So pick one, that's fine. Or, you know, figure out, do you want this to be like levels of sorting, or does the Raven Queen have to go sit and have meetings with Celeborn about quotas and flow adjustment and stuff?
She really is.
She's just like, I don't talk to him.
Yeah.
And just let him deal with his business and I deal with mine.
There you go.
Options.
Just collect shiny memories.
Shiny memories. The Lurking Writer says, dark powers don't necessarily equate to evil powers, do they?
Oh, they're evil. Yeah, no. The dark powers are terrible. Yeah. Theoretically, the dark powers are the worst.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This is where it gets kind of amorphous, because Ravenloft is ultimately a prison. The Dark Lords are being punished.
Yeah.
So in a way, the dark powers are a sort of ironic tribunal. You know, they're not rewarding them, they're punishing them. So, you know, even though I so quickly was like, no, they're evil, but it's like, maybe not. The thing is, I think you can only be so good and decide to subject someone to eternal torment, because that is basically what you're doing. It's like, you were going to suffer till the end of time because of stuff you did. Also, on occasion, we're going to let mortals get involved and also suffer indeterminate amounts.
I think I've essentially treated the dark powers in my head as like and this is jumping fandoms here, but essentially coming face to face with a like a Sith Lord spirit. Like this is like big bad evil dude that is gonna mess you up and use power stuff. I don't know. That's how I thought of it.
I mean, again, I could, even though, again, just coming right from the hip, I was like, not only are they evil, they're the worst. I mean, I could see an argument, not unlike the Raven Queen, that they're lawful neutral, but they're merciless. Like there is no compassion in what they do. Because again, especially for those of you that didn't see the Ravenloft episode, it's the Twilight Zone monkey paw. It's exactly what you said you wanted, but twisted just enough that it isn't. Like it is just out of reach of the thing that made you happy, and it will stay that way forever. It's the library, but you break your glasses. That's Ravenloft. So the powers that decide that it's like, this is what you deserve, and put you in there and build a dread domain around you, are strong enough to do so. And again, they're not wrong. Every single one of the Dark Lords has it coming. It's just again, but there's no redemption. Like there is no way. There's not a way out of it. That's the point. I mean, Aslan gets the closest. Which, I mean, Aslan Rex's escape, most of in Van Richten's guide, Aslan is definitely gone. Why he's gone and to what end he's gone is kind of up to you, and you've seen the way we did it in the Black Dice Society. But there is no redemption arc for Strahd. There is no way. I mean, I say no way. Your table's your table, but he never gets it. None of them ever get it. Like, there's never a moment where he's like, I have, in fact, been the asshole the entire time.
Oh, is this what I've been doing to people? Oh, I belong here.
Oh, jeez. Because he can't.
Yeah.
He's almost an automata, repeating this sequence of events over and over into perpetuity. So I guess when you think of what kind of person does that to something else, I say something because not every Dark Lord's a human, probably not good people, because it's not, it is punishment, not rehabilitation. So, yeah. And I mean, they are called the Dark Powers.
Foolish Genius 89 says, question is this Whittle Barovia continuity or Black Dice Society Strahd continuity? This is very important to me. It's a multiverse, all of them.
There's no version of a story I tell where a gnome has hurled napalm at Castle Ravenloft and survived. So that's all I have to say about that. Whittle's fast. She ain't that fast. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. This is a very important question. Cassius335 question: assuming no rider preference, could the Lady of Payne beat Tiamat in a dance-off? See, these are the questions that I like when it comes to that.
Wow.
No.
Oh?
Yeah.
Because e-girls don't dance. You know what I mean? You go to a Tool concert, you go to a Nine Inch Nails concert, there is no pop, lock, and drop.
But what if Lady of Payne is like a raver e-girl?
I still think, I mean, in my heart of hearts, I think Tiamat can bring it. I really think
I feel like Tiamat breakdances.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
But I'm like, no, Tiamat wins that.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to back it up. Except
Me neither. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Tiamat would even, like, she'd even do it. She'd even fight fair. She'd do it as the Dark Lady. She's got, like, I got one arm, two arms, and two legs too. Let's go. Yeah, right. Yeah. And yeah, I feel honestly, I feel like Tiamat to the Raven Queen is like Havilar to Farida. Yeah.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Another important question from Cassius335. Question: exactly what piece of Vecna do you think the Raven Queen has to keep Vecna in line?
His heart.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, I was
got
gonna
the heart
say,
of Agno.
I was gonna say his right pinky or like his right big toe, just so that like occasionally he feels that it's not there, and he just knows like, freaking Raven Queen, man.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
enjoy that aspect. Like he
Yes.
tried to show up. He tried to be like, bow down. And she's like, or not. And
No.
took his like pinky toe or something.
Yeah.
And now it
Mhm.
just grates on him a little more.
Mhm.
You didn't get the Shadowfell and she got your pinky toe. Like that's how little she thinks of you too. That's what she took. Your pinky toe.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. This is a serious question. Well, I say serious, but like non-joke question. Real Bunny Bees question. So, is the Raven Queen an actual deity, and are there clerics that worship her? And if so, what do they do?
Yes. Again, this becomes a sliding scale of like godhood to demigodhood or whatever. There are clerics of
Yeah.
the Raven Queen. There's way more warlocks of the Raven Queen, especially like she's big on hex blades. Yeah. I'm pretty sure her domain is death, you know?
Yeah.
so,
Great
Mhm.
grave clerics and whatnot.
But again, you got to think a lot of times this comes up in storytelling, but death is neutral. Death's a neutral process. It's
Mhm.
universal. So death is not bad. It's undeath that's bad because undeath is perverts the natural order of things.
Some would
Yeah.
consider unnatural.
Natural. Mhm. Yeah. No.
I'm gonna.
Also, again, it is very heavily implied that Ezra is the Raven Queen, and you absolutely can be a cleric of Ezra too, as Brother Uriah is on the Black Dice Society. So it's sort of like tiers of which, like I said, I really just imagine there's just like a fog bank in part of the Shadowfell, and every once in a while she's like, the hell? Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pose this question, but I feel like this is an answer for later if any of us have the time, because I think it would be funny. This is from Shevik74. Question: lots of talk about the boombox. Any ideas what would be on the mixtape?
Ooh.
I think that would be funny as heck to do, is to build Orcus's mixtape for the Raven Queen. Well, number one on it would be the song for Bardic Inspiration. I mean, let's be real.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely has to go on there. Man, that is a big question. It is good.
No, Martin just put in the
We got
chat, just put in our text on. It has to start with Careless Whispers after the Bardic Inspiration song.
No, hold on. I'm gonna do something I usually don't do, because I don't usually come into chat during the stream, so it gets confused. It gets confusing. But I hope I have the ability to post a link here.
I think you should. I think you should.
Did you already make this playlist?
Garwar says "In Your Eyes"
first
is
of
on
all,
there.
No, hold on. I put in chat, and I'm gonna put here in Zoom. This is the number one track on.
Here's what's
on
on Orcus. I'm clicking on it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Is this what I think it is?
For audio
Oh.
listeners, it is the medieval version of Gangsta's Paradise.
Bardcore. Yep.
Nice.
Bardcore.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be straight out of Gotham. I thought you were going to troll us. Honestly, I was like, oh, wait a second.
That's track one of the B-side.
That's track one of the B-side.
Yeah. The Raven Queen's like, I have no concept of Gotham, but yes, I like it.
Oh, God.
First of all, thank you, Aaron. Yeah. Just for the record, if you've never listened to anything Bardcore is on the mixtape, but do yourself a favor when we're done here. Just go to YouTube, type in Bardcore. You will be blessed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Hildegard of Blingen does
I need you to know I laughed until there was tears in my eyes the first time I read Hildegard von Blingen. I laughed.
I am in love with you, ma'am. I am in love with you.
Until there were tears in my eyes from Hildegard von Blingen.
all right. Well, I think that is a good place to wrap up this episode. Friends, where can people find you? What awesome things you're working on?
Sorry. You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can watch me on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers for Dungeon Scrawlers, an actual play show set in the Forgotten Realms, a bunch of fantasy writers. You can join me and V-Dave on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific for Court of the Raven Queen, which I'm very excited about. And on Tuesdays, I'm going to do concentration checks, so that moves.
Yeah.
Where am I not, fair viewer? Also, you're welcome about Bardcore. I say words about things. G4 Fridays, not this week. It is my birthday, which is not why we're broadcasting. It just so happened. My birdie. But we should probably be back next week, I think, with the start of season 2 at 3 p.m. Pacific on G4, Twitch, and YouTube, and Mondays on cable. Campaign 1 is done. You can go to G4, Twitch, or YouTube. Honestly, I recommend YouTube to binge the whole first season of what we did over there.
I am halfway through that season, and I am loving it. My wife, who does not usually like actual plays, has been watching, is like, I'm gonna start watching this from the beginning. Like it is nice. Very, very good.
We get that. I see that comment more than any other. Like, I usually don't watch these things, and I don't play D&D, but I like it, and now I want to try it. I'm all like, ha, got him. Yeah. And also the Black Dice Society, 3 p.m. Pacific on D&D's official Twitch and YouTube, where you will see Strahd not being a nice person.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at the Treavor. There's an A hiding in there, and all the way too many podcasts that I do. One of which is writing about dragons shit, which I do with these two lovely people. And we had a guest on this week, and it is a very not safe for work episode. But that is up and live now.
Put your headphones on.
Yeah. Don't listen to this one in the speakers. Also trying to get the another show going. I'm Gonna Podcast. Please send in your questions to imgonna@gmail.com. Just anything, advice, weird stuff, hypotheticals, whatever. Just send it in. It'll be fun. Trust me. Let's see. Today we've got Mars's Guiding Hand at 1. We've got Sketching Hour at 3. We've got something special coming up in game in about 3 minutes, as well as voting 2. If you haven't done your vote for yesterday, do it right now. You've got 2 minutes.
Go.
The Xanathar one, right?
Yes, do the Xanathar one.
Vote for the Xanathar so we can listen.
Remember the almighty Xanathar?
Yes. So be sure to do that. But I gotta get out of here so that we can fit this into time-wise. But that's gonna do it for this week. So until next week, champions out.